Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News. Now the pleasure to be joined by the former British and European middleweight champion Matthew Macklin. Matthew, I mean, Usyk Fury2, does it get much bigger than this?
Not really. You know, the first fight was historic, undisputed, first of the four belt era in the heavyweight division, and I think the first undisputed champion since Lennox Lewis won them way back. So, or Holyfield, it's the first one to put them together. So, historic fight. It was a great fight, a dramatic fight. Was always going to be a rematch anyway, but like now it's a really hotly anticipated rematch because I don't think anyone can really be hugely confident in who that will be, who the winner will be. I remember on the night of the fight, we come back to the hotel and we were talking. I remember my sort of initial feeling at the time was Usyk will win the rematch. Better now, he'll win it, clearer. But then on reflection, I'm not so sure. I think that now, Fury was excellent in his rematch, well, both rematches with Wilder, so he can make adjustments. He boxed the first time against Wilder. The second time he took the centre of the ring and backed him up. I wouldn't be one bit surprised if Fury did that this time. I thought he probably gave the first three rounds away by looking to box Usyk, and actually he let Usyk, warm right into the fight and get on top of him. I would imagine this time he'll look to take the play away from Usyk and he'll look to boss it and take the centre of the ring.
Is that what, for many people, that was when Usyk had his success, when he tried to back up Fury and kind of that was when he wobbled Fury in the rounds? Is that what Fury needs to do to Usyk, back him up, rough him up like he did to Wilder to win the rematch? Well,
he needs to take the play away from him. He needs to dictate the terms, not allow Usyk to dictate them. Look, the fight will ebb and flow, I'm sure, and there'll be moments when Usyk is coming forward. But I felt early doors, Fury just gave that away. If you're going to if Usyk's going to get the centre ring and back him, we'll make him work for it. Where I think Fury allowed him to do that by electing to box on the back foot, and I thought that was, in hindsight, looking at it, I thought it was a mistake. I thought that was a part of the fight where he sort of invited pressure on himself. Instead of take the centre of the ring and look to back Usyk up, you're the bigger man. You push him back, take control.
Definitely as well. One thing that was kind of made in the aftermath was the kind of the corner team in Fury. Do you think he's going to go into this rematch with kind of one clear voice? I think there was Andy Lee, there was Sugar Hill, there was his dad in there. Do you think he'll go into this fight with the same people, or do you think he'll have that one clear voice in that corner?
I would have thought so, because it was quite a did the rounds, didn't it, social media, and everyone had their opinion on it, whatever. But it was chaotic in there. If you've had a hectic round, you want clarity, don't you? You know what I mean? You don't want confusion. So I'd imagine they're people he trusts, obviously. Andy Lee's dad, all that, as well as Sugar Hill. But I think you want a bit more unity in terms of what's being said to you, rather than different voices saying different things. Because that's, especially if you've just been put down and you're having a hectic round, you don't want, you know what I mean? You want clarity.
Is that you speaking from experience there as a fighter? When you were in the corner and you've had a bad round or whatever, you wanted that one clear voice saying the instructions that you needed in your corner.
Yeah, and just. You want calmness, really, as much calmness. Listen, sometimes someone's got to put a rocket up in your ass a little bit, give you a kick up the arse, and you need a bit of urgency, maybe. But if you've just had a chaotic round, I think calmness is a superpower. That's where you want someone. One voice, clarity, calm, clear instructions, not bombarded. And no point saying no point trying to tell someone too many things. If he's just been put down, and he's only going to be able to absorb a certain amount of information. You know what I mean? So as clear and concise as possible, I'd say.
Definitely. I want to move on to the undercard. I mean, stacked undercard on here. I feel like all of them could be main events in themselves. But if you had to pick one fight from the undercard, which is your kind of pick of the bunch?
Probably the chief support, Madrimov. I know it's probably the lesser crossover named fight, but I'm not a crossover, I'm a boxing purist, so that's the fight I want to see.
Definitely. There's no other way for me. Bohachuk's going to bring the pace to that fight, but Madrimov, kind of the more tactical fighter in there. I mean, who are you leaning towards in that fight, Madrimov or Bohachuk?
Yeah, Madrimov. He's not just he's strong and he's powerful. I think Madrimov.
Who did you think? Obviously, Crawford kind of. It was many different things going on in that fight with Madrimov and Crawford. But did you think Crawford won it as clearly as what his kind of camp were making, or do you think Madrimov had a strong claim in that fight?
I thought Crawford won it. It was closer than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it'd be. I knew there'd be a physicality factor in the fight. Obviously, Crawford's coming up, hasn't he, from lightweight, like welter. So there was always going to be that physicality factor. Like you say, Madrimov's. He's not just a super welterweight. He's a strong super welterweight, like a little bull, isn't he? So there was always going to be a physicality factor in that fight for Crawford. But Crawford's so good. I just thought he might just drain him a little bit early and sort of soften him up, and then maybe take over in the second half. But that didn't really happen. Madrimov was competitive all the way, wasn't it? So, but yeah, I think Crawford
definitely as well. Final one for me, because I know you've got better things to do than to talk to me. But I want to talk about the middleweight division. Obviously, your old division. Kind of, we've got Hamzah Sheeraz at the top of kind of the British tree there. But how do you kind of look at the middleweight division, and how well do you think Hamzah Sheeraz fits into that world level scene?
I think boxing, even different weight divisions, they have their heydays. Sometimes they're really strong, sometimes they're pretty weak. I think the middleweight division right now, in the last few years, probably since Golovkin had the run, and he was obviously what a great champion he was, and then kind of it's been weak really since. There hasn't really been a big name, or lots of good fighters, but maybe not so outstanding as what some of them eras have been. But I think Sheeraz has looked really good. I think he's beaten he has beaten everyone that's put in front of him, but he's done so in style as well. Huge for the weight. He's exciting, he's a charismatic guy, he looks well, talks well. He's someone that you could see, if he can go on and become world champion, you could imagine, you could see how he could become a star. So him and Janibek, is he WBO mandatory now?
Yes, he got ordered the other day.
So I think that's a fight that's a good fight.
Definitely look forward to it as well. Matthew, my final question we ask everyone who comes on the channel this: when all's said and done, what does boxing mean to you?
Well, since I was 10 years old, I've been completely obsessed, like we all are. I think you have to be obsessed. It's all consuming, isn't it? It's too hard not to be, and everyone else is. So if you're not, you get left behind. So yeah, listen, boxing, it's the best and the worst. It's the highest of the highs. It's the lowest of the lows. And you meet some amazing people. You get to travel the world, and you get to still be working on events like this. Great life.
We definitely do. Matthew Macklin, thank you very much. A pleasure. Thank you.